Welcome back to She Will Empower. I'm your host, Jessica Cherry. I'm a strategic intervention and empowerment coach, an NLP practitioner, an award winning writer, a community director, your Central Texas sound bath girly, and your Tuesday morning wake up club host on 94.3 KWVH Wimberley Valley Radio, where we bring real talk, real tools, and real empowerment straight to the airwaves. And if this is your first time here listening, welcome. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. Today's episode is one I want you to really lean into. I want you to really soak this one in, especially if you've been thinking about New Year's resolutions or changing yourself or trying new things. So, if you're multitasking, listen up and I want you to truly hear this message today because what are we talking about today? It's not motivational fluff, it's not believe harder energy. It's the truth about why so many capable, intelligent, and heart led people stay stuck far longer than they need to or they should. And it comes down to this confidence. So many people lack confidence. See, confidence is the currency, and so many people are undercharging and undervaluing themselves. See, confidence isn't missing from your life, it's being delayed by your hesitation. Now, hear me out here. So many of us are taught to wait or to be ready or to be certain or to be approved first or to be picked. But confidence doesn't come from waiting. And it doesn't come from stalling, and it doesn't come from not taking action and just being in the background. No, confidence comes from moving. You got to move. Now, if you heard last week's episode, I talked about confidence briefly, and it has just been the itch that I've had all week long. All week long, I've been wanting to write about confidence and talk more about it because I've been through this. I've been through this before. So I needed to get back on the mic to really talk about confidence and why action builds confidence. So I gave an example last week of how I get asked every single month how I do this one thing. And for those that don't know what I do, I'll tell you. I'm a women's empowerment and networking director for a national organization, and I run the chapter that's in our area. And every month I speak to about 35 to 70 women consistently on a monthly basis. Sometimes it can get to 100. And I'm on stages, sometimes just in a normal room, but every month I always get at least one person at an event that ends up coming up to me and either whispering in my ear or shaking my hand and telling me this: I don't know how you do it. I would freeze. And I even got asked last month if I can extend my services to be an MC at personal events, which I thought was crazy. But let me say this: I find it funny, and in my head, I giggle a little bit. Of course, I don't laugh at them, but in my head, I giggle a little bit because I haven't always been this way. I have been professionally on stages for about 25 years, and my husband reminded me the other day that even in my teen years, I was on stages. What I'm trying to say here is that confidence comes naturally to me because I've repeated the action so many times. Now, take away all that experience, would I be as confident? No way. I would not be as confident. I would freeze. And I would freeze because it would be something brand new to me. And it would be something that I'm not confident in. It would be something that I'm not experienced in. I would freeze if I didn't have any of that experience and somebody gave me a microphone and told me to talk. And in fact, I respect when I come across women that have never been on a stage and I have to speak for them or talk for them, or they've given me a paragraph and I speak it on the stage. Because if you don't have that feeling of confidence, it chisels at you. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. See, confidence comes after action, it does not come before the action. Now, think about those 25 years that I've been on stages in one way or another. And you can see how I don't get stage fright anymore. It just comes naturally to me. I do it now once a month. And before that, I was on stages. I've been on stages, performances, you name it. I've been there. But I know people that have not, and it freezes them. And it's because they haven't had the action yet. So here's what the internet doesn't say loudly enough: Confidence isn't just a mindset, it's a multiplier. What do I mean by that? Confidence multiplies how you communicate with people. It multiplies how you negotiate, right? And it affects how you price yourself, what your prices are if you have businesses, or even if you don't have a business, if you're looking for a job, it affects how you price yourself and it affects how you set boundaries. It really does. Lack of confidence is lack of boundaries, and it also affects how you're perceived in every room that you walk in. Let me give you another example. Let's say there are two people, and these two people have the same skill set, exact same. They have the exact same resume. They have the same experience, the same life experience, the same circle of friends, and the same network. They are the exact same on paper. But here's where they're different. One has confidence and walks around boldly, confidently with their back straight, and one does not. Which one do you think gets the opportunity? And why do they? Why do they get that? Why do they get the opportunity? I'll tell you why. It's because confidence communicates self trust. And self trust is so magnetic to people. Self trust is magnetic. And being magnetic with trust in yourself, being magnetic with trust in yourself makes people believe in you. People will believe a confident person even when they don't have the skills, even when they're not qualified. If you show up confidently in a room, people will believe you. So, besides manifesting and New Year's resolutions, this is actually one of the most searched questions right now in this time of year. And it is, why do I lack confidence? And the answer will surprise you. The answer isn't trauma alone. It isn't mindset alone. It isn't even childhood alone. Confidence is lack of evidence. Let me explain. Confidence is built through proof, and proof comes from action. So you don't trust yourself because you haven't watched yourself follow through with it. You haven't done it. You haven't done the thing that would give you the confidence. And if you're waiting and if you're procrastinating, you're telling yourself you're not ready yet. And how are you ever going to get confidence if you don't do the thing that you need to do to get it? Right? You just won't. You won't get it. You're waiting to feel ready, and that is what's keeping you stuck. Let's be clear on this. Ready is not a feeling. Ready is a decision. And this is what waiting to feel ready does to you. Waiting to feel ready delays momentum. And waiting to feel ready reinforces your self doubt. It trains your nervous system to avoid risk. And you're never going to build any confidence that way. It's just not possible. See, confidence comes after the action, not before it. Remember me and my stage. I would never feel confident if I hadn't been doing it for such a long time. I would freeze. Confidence comes after the action. All right. So let's talk about undervaluing yourself, which is in part lack of confidence. It falls under that umbrella. So we're going to talk about it. So undervaluing yourself doesn't just hurt your bank account, which that alone can sting. Everything's going up in price, so nothing's getting any cheaper. And that's why undervaluing yourself doesn't just hurt your bank account. Undervaluing yourself can show up as overgiving, over explaining. Have you run into people that just over explain, or have you been that way? I've been that way before personally. Undervaluing yourself can show up as underpricing, setting poor boundaries in your life, which I have been there before. I have set poor boundaries and undervalued myself, and it stings. It's such a hard lesson, but it's one that many of us go through. And so, undervaluing yourself also shows up as emotional burnout, which is hard. So, pricing is a reflection of your self worth, it's not your skill. And you know what? I'll be honest, I have undervalued myself so many times in my life, in my early adulthood, so many. And I have learned this lesson the hard way as far as undervaluing myself. I'll give you my personal example. And this is also a statistic as a woman that I fall into. And it's not one that I like. I really don't like it, but I am guilty of it. And so I'm being a little bit vulnerable here at the moment, but it's a good lesson. And it's a lesson that I think I want to talk about. So here we go. Let me say it. I have never, ever, ever negotiated a salary. So back when I was doing normal jobs, working a 9 to 5 and having a boss and all of that, I was so excited and so grateful when I would apply for a job. I would go in for 5 or 6 interviews. I would get the job. I'd finally get the job offer. And when it came time to formally accept the job offer, it never, ever crossed my mind that I could negotiate. I didn't know I could negotiate, never. And some of those opportunities came and they were kind of lowballing me, to be completely honest. I can look back and say, you know what? I know that you were offering me the lower end of that. And I didn't have any confidence in me to ask for anything more. But at the time, I took it because I was so grateful that I beat the other candidates and that I was happy. And I was just grateful more than anything. I remember being in those waiting rooms to get the interview, and I would be in the waiting room and I would look at the other people, and it was scary back in the day. I didn't have a lot of experience when I was in my 20s, and I never thought that I could actually negotiate something, and I definitely did not have the confidence. And some of those opportunities, they were lowballing me, like I said, but I was grateful. So it was not until my husband came in the picture and we were dating, or maybe we're just married. I think we were just married, and he was searching for a new job. And he found a job and he applied and he had the interviews and he got the job. And he was offered this new job, and then it came time to formally accept, and I saw him negotiating his salary, and I was shocked, floored. I was so amazed, a little bit scared, all the things. I was super nervous too, and I remember this moment clearly still in my mind. I told him, I said, "Aren't you scared that this is all gonna backfire on you? Aren't you worried that they will move on down the road and they'll pick the next person that didn't wanna go back and forth with negotiating salary? Like, aren't you worried about this?" He looked at me, I'll never forget his eyes. He looked at me with his eyes square in the face, and he said confidently, he said, "No, I'm worth it. I'm always doing this." And at that point, I was never the same. I was so shocked that that was his answer, and that was many, many years ago now, and now, because of that moment, I receive collaborations and contracts, and I don't undervalue myself, and I don't overthink anymore of what I charge. And that stemmed from that conversation, but you know what? That was a hard lesson for me, but I'm glad that I took it and and learned it because, oh my goodness, the confidence now that I have from that experience is solid. I'm never gonna leave it. It's never going away. All right, now let's talk about overthinking because overthinking is a part of confidence. So, overthinking feels so productive, right? It can feel so productive that we're doing all the things, crossing our T's 5 times, dotting our I's 10, but it's not. Overthinking is not productive. Overthinking is fear in a pretty outfit. And it took me a while to learn this, but it's so true. See, here's the thing momentum creates clarity. And action builds belief. Action builds a belief that not only can you do it, but that you're qualified to do it because you've done it. Action gives you the confidence backbone, and that is priceless. The confidence backbone makes you walk into a room and you stand taller. And it makes you walk into a room and you don't mind if people are looking at you because you're in your aura, you're in your zone, right? Confidence backbone is amazing, it's priceless, and you don't get it from overthinking. So here's where NLP comes in, and if you don't know what NLP is, it's neuro-linguistic programming, and I'm a practitioner of it, so I've been certified for 2 years now. It deals with the brain, it's amazing. I personally love it. So here's the thing, confidence is a pattern, and patterns can be changed. And how do we change patterns? We change them through repetition. So keep doing something over and over and over again. You become better at it, and that's where confidence builds in. You can also do it through anchoring or identity shifts or embodied action. See, your brain doesn't respond to affirmations alone. Now, don't get me wrong, affirmations are wonderful. I love affirmations. They help you get your mindset right, they get you in a good mental space. They give you pieces of momentum and clarity. I love affirmations. I think they are wonderful. Confidence, however, confidence responds to experience. And how do you get experience? You got to go through action. You got to go through the action doors to get experience, and then that experience gives you the confidence. See, confidence impacts so many areas of our life, from our personal to professional, from relationships to friendships. When you have confidence in you, it seeps through every part of your life. Confidence impacts leadership. I mean, would you follow a confident leader or a leader that's not confident, right? And so it impacts leadership, it impacts income because people want to hire people that are confident. It impacts visibility because when you're confident, you are visible because you don't want to hide in the corner of the rooms if you're confident, right? When you walk into a room and you're confident, you are visible. And confidence impacts opportunities. So when confidence aligns with clarity and purpose, chef's kiss, it is so beautiful. Everything expands. You automatically level up your life. It is so beautiful to watch. So here's another thing we need to talk about: manifestation truths. So action is the activator. Manifestation, I talked about it last week. So manifestation is not passive. It's not something that you just think about, wave a magic wand, and then it comes up. It's just there. No, that's not what manifestation is. You don't attract what you want, right? Like, I want $1,000,000. Let me just have it land in my bank account. No, that's not the way manifestation is. It's not passive. You attract what you move towards, right? So confidence is the energetic signal that says, I trust myself to handle what comes next. I'm confident. I trust myself. I can handle it, baby. I can handle it, all of it. Okay, that's confidence. So I want you to try this identity shift. I want you to be your own cheerleader. Because listen, no one is coming to validate you 24/7, 365 every single day of your life without skipping a beat. No one. And that's not a problem, okay? That is powerful. Being your own cheerleader is powerful because confidence is choosing yourself before the applause comes. All right. The applause comes after you've done the thing, when it's out in the public and everybody's like, yay, you did it. Awesome. Great job. But you had to have the confidence to do it to begin with. So confidence is choosing yourself before the applause. I'll give you my example again. So, I've been the only person rooting for me at times, and that's not to say that people did or didn't believe in me, but to be honest, I didn't honestly care if people did or didn't believe in me. I knew I wanted to do the thing and I was going to do it anyway, being my own cheerleader. Yes, I'll be honest, does being your own cheerleader sting at times? Yes, it does. I mean, naturally, we have feelings, but I'm gonna do it anyway because that's who I am. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be my own cheerleader. I'm gonna do it anyway. And I've done it. And let people think you're crazy. Let people think you're nuts. Let them. I go after and I do so many things that in my life I've been the only one. And now that I've been with my husband, I've been with him for 15 years. He's used to me being the crazy one. And we laugh about it all the time that I'm the crazy and he's the stable, right? And it's okay. It is okay to be your own cheerleader and have everybody think you're Delulu. It's okay. Back in the day, and I'm going to date myself here. Back in the day, my husband used to have a ringback tone, which means for all you youngins, when I would call him, it wouldn't just ring like a normal cell phone ring, it would ring in a song. So my song was called Crazy Girl. I think it was by Eli Young Band. Crazy Girl was my song. And every time that I would call him, Crazy Girl would ring. And that was so funny when I would call him. But there's nothing wrong with being crazy as long as it's in a good way, right? There's nothing wrong with being the crazy one. I love being the crazy one because I get to go after what I want. And I have the vision and the delulu and the confidence that I'm gonna go after it whether you believe in me or not, whether my family believes in me or not. There's nothing wrong with being a little crazy as long as I said it's in a good way. There's nothing wrong with it. It's empowering. And when you are your own cheerleader, you don't have to depend on anybody else's permission or approval or silence or neglect, nothing. It all doesn't matter when you're your own cheerleader. And if I would have listened to the people around me at the times that I was making the decisions I was making, that I couldn't do something, I would have never have started so many things that I am grateful for right now. I wouldn't have a master's degree for one. Because listen, I'm the first in my family. And when I say family, I mean even extended family. I wouldn't have my master's degree and I wouldn't even have my motherhood blog, the blog that I started 9 years ago that started everything for me, Life of a Cherry Wife. I wouldn't have that blog either. And I wouldn't have started the sound baths. I wouldn't have started anything if I would have listened to one naysayer. So be your own cheerleader and try for a moment to imagine that your ideas, your dreams, the dreams that scare you, are like these tiny little tree seedlings that you planted. Think of yourself as planting the most beautiful tree that you've ever imagined in your life. Just this beautiful tree with beautiful leaves and a strong trunk. It's just this glowing, beautiful tree. And what do people do with these tiny seedlings that they have? They protect them. See, they water them, they give them great soil with lots of nutrients, they give them the sunlight, and they watch them grow. And once they sprout, and those beautiful, tiny, mini little green leaves, they put that seedling in a protective barrier around them so that the wildlife just can't come and yank it out, or the neighborhood dog won't just rip it up. It's protected, right? That little seedling is protected. And it's the same with your dreams. You want to protect them, feed them, nurture them, love on them, give them sunlight, and you don't have to share them with the entire world before they are ready. You don't have to. You can have that little space just for you. So, I want to make this land for you. I want you to stop waiting. There's never going to be the perfect time for anything. You are going to create the perfect time. Create it. There's never going to be the perfect time. Stop procrastinating. Stop overthinking. Stop crossing your T's 10,000 times and dotting your I's in several thousand colors. Start moving. Get it going. Do it scared. Do it shaking in your boots. Do it uncertain, but do it. Decide it and go for it. You only have this one shot at life. We don't get a second chance. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is it. This is it. Go after your dreams and be confident. And if you don't have it, they have that saying that goes fake it till you make it. Do it anyway. Go for it. Do it because confidence is the currency. It really is. And it's time to stop undercharging yourself and start doing it. Do the thing. I'm rooting for you and I want you to make your dreams come true, your most wildest dreams, the ones that keep you awake at night. The ones that you think, "Oh, maybe it's just a dream, I'll do it someday." This is the someday. This is it. Do it. Do it. I'm rooting for you. You got this. I wanna let you know that waiting to feel ready is the most expensive habit you can have. So don't wait to feel ready. You're wasting your days wanting to feel ready and spinning your wheels and procrastinating. Do it, all right? I'm rooting for you. So before we close, I want to remind you of something so important. Confidence grows when you don't do it alone. All right? Confidence is built in motion, but it's strengthened with clarity, structure, and support. So, if today's episode sparked something in you, if you felt that quiet yes inside, I've created a free guide called 10 Steps from Here to Your Next Level. It's designed to help you out of overthinking and into aligned action. And I'll link it in the show notes for you. So if you want it, it's right there and it'll help you whenever you need it. And if you're ready for deeper work, the kind that rewires how you think and respond and show up, I do have a 6-week program called the Rewired Experience. And it's where we take everything we talked about today and we turn it into lived transformation. This is where confidence stops being an idea and becomes embodied. And it's where self trust replaces self doubt, and where action becomes your new baseline. And you don't have to feel ready to take the next step. You just have to be willing. And I'll be right here whenever you're ready. My name's Jessica Cherry, and this is She Will Empower. And if you're tuning in on a Sunday morning through KWVH 94.3 Wimberley Valley Radio, thank you for spending part of your day with me. And remember this: you are capable of far much more than you've ever allowed yourself to imagine. Your dreams are not too big. Your timeline is not too late. And if you are not where you want to be yet, you always have permission to rewire, reset, and begin again as many times as you need to. And thank you for being here today, beautiful friends. If this episode supported you, if it offered a new perspective, a moment of relief, or even one tool that you can tuck into your back pocket, please share it. Share it with a friend or with a coworker or with anyone who could use a little more clarity and peace in their world. Because here's the truth: we never know who needs a message until we pass it forward. We never know what other people are living. And that, my friends, is how empowerment spreads. And that is what She Will Empower is all about. You can catch new episodes of She Will Empower every single Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time on KWVH 94.3 Wimberley Valley Radio. And of course, anytime, anywhere on your favorite podcast platform. Just search She Will Empower and I will pop right up for you. And if you're an early riser, come join me every Tuesday morning live on the Wake Up Club on Wimberley Valley Radio from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. every Tuesday. It's cozy, it's fun, it's full of great Texas and Americana music and conversations. Truly an amazing way to start your morning. And you can also download the app and listen on your phone as well. So convenient. And if you're in Central Texas and your nervous system feels fried, overwhelmed, or like you're running on fumes, come see me in person at Lone Star Sound Baths. Just search Lone Star Sound Baths on social media and you'll find me. I guide immersive sound bath experience designed to help you soften, settle, and reset your mind, your body, and your spirit. It's one of the most healing offerings I provide, and I love serving our community this way. And you can also connect with me through Ladies Lifestyle Network, Hayes County, where I host monthly empowerment and networking events. These gatherings are full of powerful speakers, local nonprofits, incredible vendors, and amazing hill country venues. Women come to these events to grow, to be seen, and to rise together. And I've witnessed beautiful friendships and life changing business connections form right in those rooms. And if you want to follow my personal journey, motherhood, entrepreneurship, healing, all the behind the scenes of our family life with 2 kids, you can find me at Life of a Cherry Wife on social media. So, in closing, I want to thank you for tuning in today, for showing up, for doing the work, and for choosing growth even when it stretches you. And before you go, I want you to do one small thing today for your future self, even something so tiny, because one tiny move today can come the moment that changes everything for you. Tiny moves create big impact, and big impact changes lives. Stay powerful, stay connected, stay true to yourself and true to your dreams. I'll see you next time. Bye.